Hey guys, we're going to take a little second to talk about Anchor and exactly why you should be using Anchor if you like to create a podcast of your own, because they have amazing creation tools that allow you to edit your audio in the app and allow people to join you and record your podcast audio in the app. So it eliminates all the extra mess around it. And on top of that, it's free, so you don't have to pay any money whatsoever. I've been using the app and I love it ever since I have. I've been actually working on podcasts, coming up with ideas, and it's really got me into motivation to start doing this again. So check out Anchor, use it. Trust me, it's worth it.
You can, you're just talking to yourself and it's terrible.
Yeah, it's so annoying. I can't do it without other people here.
Oh man. Sending people Shrek penises.
We're recording right now.
Oh, awesome. Oh, she told me.
Alright. We're doing talk about thoughts on the Infinity Saga, man.
It's a pretty good series.
First movie, Iron Man. What's your opinion on it?
That was the first one in the series?
It's the first one on the list here, yeah.
I don't know why I thought... Yeah, no, that makes sense. He's in the end of Hulk. I don't know why I thought Hulk was the first one. I'm stupid. Iron Man 1, that was a heckin' good movie. I enjoyed it.
Do you like it then? I like it a lot. I think it's probably like top 5 of the entire MCU.
Top 5? Ooh, maybe. It is pretty good. I mean, everyone does love Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, but then I don't like him that much anymore because like he's in like 8 movies.
Man, he's in more than 8.
Yeah,
he's got 3 Iron Mans.
Yeah.
Every Avengers. He's in all the he's in the one Spider-Man. He's in Captain America Civil
both
War.
Spider-Mans.
Technically.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
Yeah?
He's an Image. That's about
He's
it.
a flashback.
Yeah, fair enough. Wonder if they had to pay him royalties for a flashback.
I'm sure he got paid.
Hey, you put me in the movie for 10 seconds. That'll be $5,000.
I'm sure he's still under contract.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
So then, now like Iron Man, I give it like a 9 out of 10. I think it's really well written.
That's an 8.5, but yeah.
I think it's a good origin.
It is a really good origin, yeah, that's true.
I think it's a very good pace, very good tone.
One of my favorite scenes will always be when he's like in the desert or wherever, and then he sees the missile come down at him, and it says Stark Enterprise on it.
Right.
I love that scene. That's so funny to me.
So good.
I actually just love everything about Tony Stark in that movie. Like he's such a douche, and then he's like.
That's the best part about Iron Man. Iron Man is like what a good origin story is. It's not as much about the hero; it's about the person. So it's really a Tony Stark movie.
No, absolutely.
Which makes it really good, right?
Yeah. Well, he just like sees that he's the evil in the world, and he's like, "Ah, dang it, I was smelly. I'm sorry." And then he made a cool suit and beat up aliens, and we all loved him. Hooray!
Alright, quick pause because I have to.
Stinky.
So we both agree Iron Man's really good. You know, different ratings, but you know, pretty much like higher end. Now going on to the Incredible Hulk.
It was alright.
I like it, but I don't think it's memorable at all. I don't think it's impactful.
I barely remember any of it.
Yeah,
to be honest with you.
Any of it.
I mean,
I have the movie downstairs. Right.
Like they switched actors for the Hulk after it, which makes it even more forgettable.
I know.
So it's like, who remembers who played the Hulk in that movie? No one.
Was it Edward Norton in that one?
Maybe. Okay, one person remembers who played him.
I love Edward Norton,
I don't even know who
but I don't know if he's in the Incredible Hulk or Hulk.
He's in both.
Let's see. Incredible Hulk. What makes it even better is that he was in Birdman with the original Batman.
Yeah, I like that a lot actually.
So they both hate their superhero movies. Incredible Hulk, I think it is Edward Norton. I'll never know because he'll never tell me the cast. Yeah, it is Edward Norton.
Okay.
I like Edward Norton. I think he's a really good actor. I don't think that he did anything memorable in this movie, though. I don't think anyone did anything memorable in this movie.
The main thing I remember is him at the bar at the end and Tony Stark coming up to him.
Yeah.
That's like the main thing I remember.
It's a solid 4 out of 10. 3.
I'd agree with that.
out of what I remember. We're just gonna move on because that one's just foggy.
Lame.
I need to watch it eventually again.
Yeah.
But now, like, it's a chance to talk about Iron Man 2.
Man.
Doo-doo.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Cheap.
It was absolute garbage.
I think I have it at 3 or 2 out of 10. I really do not like it.
The only good part of that movie was AC/DC in the soundtrack.
Yeah.
But that was it.
Exactly.
That's just because I love AC/DC.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Iron Man 2. I think it's a really, really bad follow-up to Iron Man.
Absolutely.
It had a lot weighing on its shoulders in terms of expectation. It really failed. I don't think I know anyone that likes Iron Man 2, actually.
Nah, no one does. I'll start sending people Kirby. Dude, they got this big old Kirby at EB now, and I want it.
Why?
He's
Why?
so big, I love him. I love Kirby. We look alike.
Kirby's an L.
An L?
An L.
No, he's an O.
Yeah, L.
For Omega Awesome. I was initially just like thinking about his shape because he's like just a circle with a face.
Yeah.
And like shoes and 2 little nubs. I don't know how he grabs anything. It's kind of scary. Can you imagine Cody with just like real hands and feet?
That'd be so great.
It'd be awesome. He'd just like come at you like.
It'd be horrifying.
I love it. That should be a horror game. Real Kirby chases you down in the woods. You cannot escape.
Now moving on to Thor. Thoughts on Thor?
Dude, I love Thor. That's a great movie.
I thought we both agreed that the first 2 Thor movies aren't that good.
I like them. I like
Really?
the first one a lot. Second one, I give like a 5. But we're not on the second one. The first one I really liked. I like Kat Dennings as a supporting role. Natalie Portman's alright. Yeah, Natalie Portman was good.
Yeah.
I like Thor in general, to be honest.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? I really like the character Thor, but I think Chris Hemsworth's great, obviously.
Yeah.
But then I don't like that it doesn't really take advantage of Thor, like the lure, the things that they can do.
The
lure, whatever. It's all the same. It's all the same.
You know the lure, a Thor.
Stop. Shut up. Soon we're going into our BoJack Horseman segue.
Oh, what? Man, I love BoJack. I gotta finish it.
No, we can't talk about that yet, though. We want to talk about specific things since I've actually rewatched the first 2 seasons now.
Yeah.
And there's specific things I want to talk about. But I like Thor. It's like a 6 or 7, maybe.
I give it 8.
Whoa, that's a little high.
8 on the Marvel scale, of course.
Oh, we're talking on the Marvel scale?
Don't get the same rating as a real movie.
It's a real.
I'm with Martin Scorsese. Marvel ain't cinema.
I believe it is cinema.
It's a whole different league. It's a different ballpark.
I disagree because what makes it so different other than it's like saying any action movie isn't real cinema.
It depends.
Because even with the big thing with this is that it's a huge franchise that follows within the same line, but Far From Home ruins all that. I'm not gonna get into it, man. We both know.
We gotta wait till Far From Home comes out.
That's the very last one on the list.
Okay, fine. Well, that will be our closer.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about all that after.
Okay.
But the reason why I think this is real cinema and this isn't anything necessarily special is because this isn't the only thing that's done this. We have the X-Men movies that were doing it way before.
Dude, I love the X-Men movies. They're so good.
Exactly. In the X-Men movies, they have the same thing. They all these different characters, all these different plot lines that all add up and all make sense and all connect to each other. And the first X-Men movie was made in 2008 too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't it?
Right when Iron Man was made. So what makes the X-Men movie so different? No, 2000. It was made in 2000. It was made 8 years before the MCU. So what makes it so different?
I don't know. I feel like it's mainly because Marvel has a whole universe for their movies, while the X-Men were just like movies of movies. Yeah, but it wasn't like you have Professor X, the movie.
Well, when you come up to
Mystique, the movie.
That's only because they never have to make all their movies.
But
they have Dark Phoenix. They have Wolverine. They have the Deadpool movies that all add up into the X-Men universe as well.
No.
Yeah, they do.
Deadpool's not in the X-Men universe.
Deadpool's definitely in the X-Men universe.
No, remember Deadpool was in the X-Men universe as a man with his mouth sewn shut and could shoot laser beams.
Yeah, but the whole existence of Deadpool is that since it knows it's not real, it can still exist in the X-Men universe because it's like within
It's
itself. You know what I mean? Like you could have the two different Deadpools because
Colossus
the whole
wasn't
thing
in
is
the X-Men movies, right?
what? Yes, he was.
He was?
I think he is. But it's not even just that. Beast is in the Deadpool movie, Deadpool 2.
What?
You see Beast. You see the X-Men in Deadpool 2 when he's
What?
at the house. And they're like hiding from him, remember? And Beast is one of the people.
God,
like it's like he has to be in the universe that doesn't make any sense.
I completely forgot about that. Oh my god.
Right?
That was a funny scene.
I know, I love that scene. That's why I remember it so well.
My favorite scene is in the first one when he's like, "Wow, only 2 of you home." It's almost like they couldn't afford more X-Men. Oh, I loved that. God, I love Deadpool.
Deadpool's great, but
So
I'm pretty sure he has to be in the universe just off that scene alone. Like you gotta like pick at those little moments that.
I don't know if they're in the same
Connected.
universe. They're just like the same series is all. Like they're all X-Men.
Right, and then you also have to come up with the fact that before Logan was made, they tried really hard to make a Deadpool and Logan movie.
Yeah.
Like they tried really, really hard to get Wolverine into the Deadpool movie so it would connect. Like they clearly had the idea of putting Deadpool into the X universe. But I could be completely wrong. But I mean, there are solo movies in the X universe. You have the Wolverine trilogy. You have
Wolverine trilogy.
I mean, I count X-Men Origins, Wolverine, Logan, but that's just me. But that's just me. You could maybe just count.
Logan's just all over the place too.
Well, Logan ruins the entire.
Yeah, Logan's not even in that
universe.
same timeline.
Yeah, they ruined the timeline. It's supposed to be part of the timeline, but it completely ruins it.
Yeah, because Professor X is just there chilling when he died like 2 movies ago.
I know.
He's just like, "Hello, Logan, let's go on an adventure again."
Yeah,
Who's the little one?
That's one of the many problems that I have with Logan. Why I'm not one of those
It's my dad.
diehard Logan fans. But
I'm not a diehard Logan fan, but I love the movie.
I thought it was a good
That
movie.
said, I also haven't seen it since theaters.
Right, I seen it when I got it. When I was lucky enough to get it, and I watched it in black and white. Because I got the black and white noir Blu-ray for like $4 on eBay.
That's cool.
I was like, let's watch it.
That's awesome.
I also watched it when it came out in theaters in color. I watched the first half, and I finished it with the black and white. And I think it's a good movie, but I think it has problems.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot of issues.
There's like
People
barely
kind of
any
overrated.
movies that have no issues.
I have 26 movies that I've given 5 stars in Letterboxd. 25 of them were given 10 out of 10. One's a 9.8. I believe that 25 movies that I've seen in my life, and I've seen almost 1,000 on Letterboxd at least, are perfect. But I'm one of those people that think that if you can't come up with a flaw and you really, really like it, then that means the movie's perfect.
Yeah, it's
I think that if you say a movie can't be perfect, then you can't come up with a reason why it's flawed, then it has to be perfect.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's very accurate, yeah.
Because I know some people are saying movies can't be perfect, but I can't think of a reason why it's not. You know, I can't think of a problem that it has.
Yeah.
Like, it must be perfect then.
Well, the thing is, like with Joker, I can't find a single thing wrong with that movie.
I found a
But
couple
I
things.
don't say it's perfect.
I'm with you. Because I thought that at first too, which is why I gave it 9.7. I'm like, why can't I give it a 10? Like, I can't edge it out to that 10.
Yeah, no.
There's just something about it that I couldn't edge it out to that 10. But when I thought about it a little bit more, there were a couple pacing issues, and then the story can get a little like confusing. But the things that are really, really good about it, I feel like overlap it so much that it puts it to the 9.7.
I didn't notice a single issue with the pacing, actually. I thought it moved really well.
I thought the pacing was really good. There was like a couple moments. Mainly the pacing. The issue isn't really the pacing as much as the confusion kind of creates an issue with the pacing.
The only
like,
confusion I had
reveal-
was when fucking Mr. Arthur went and opened the door to the lady and then started macking her face. I didn't get that.
Yeah, that was a little confusing.
Yeah, that was.
And then for
But
me,
I don't
right,
think something being a little confusing should destroy a movie from being perfect.
I think that if it's a little confusing and you're looking for a reason why you don't think it's perfect, that's probably the reason why it's not perfect, though.
Yeah. Although I don't think that was it at all for me. I was just like, man, why is he making out with that girl? Oh well. Also, it doesn't explain, so like, you know how it shows like that he was imagining her being there for every scene, right? What did he do? What did he do there?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So there's
Like,
some
they should have
moments
shown what that one was.
yeah, there's
Because they
definitely
showed, him at the door talking to her. He's talking to himself. Shows him at the hospital talking to himself. But it just doesn't show that one because they were probably like,
shit.
what are
Yeah.
you gonna do? Make it his mom? No, that's weird. Himself? That's also weird.
Yeah, there's some issues. Like, I think the Joker has some issues, but
Yeah.
there's like the things that are so good about Joker.
I just give it a 9. 9.5.
9.5. I give it a 9.7 because I'm this close to giving it that 5-star, but I just can't.
No, you just can't.
I can do
That
it.
said, we can agree it's the best comic book movie.
I give it the second best comic movie behind Dark Knight.
Dark Knight, yeah, that's a fair one.
But what I love about Joker so much, and what makes it so different from The Dark Knight, is how different it is to any other comic book movie.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I adore it.
But I also had this argument with my friend Michael in drama when he was talking about The Dark Knight. And he says that, how is Dark Knight not an action movie? Like, there's all these moments where there's action. And I said, I consider it more crime than action. A more crime investigation film than I consider it, or than an action film, because I feel like it's so toned down compared to most action movies, and the pacing's a lot slower, and there's more dialogue, and there's more character than most action films.
I wouldn't say it's a crime/investigation movie by any means, because what's Batman investigating? He already... There's nothing really for him to discover.
Not necessarily investigation. I consider it more...
Yo, baby, I'm gonna blow one of these boats up. And he's like...
Yeah, but I think it's deeper than that, because there's so many other layers, like the connection that Joker has to like the underground crime world and like all the gangs and like the different like the different. I'm trying to think. You know how like certain gangs control certain areas and stuff. Like in Gotham, that also applies in Gotham, and it's so deep in that level as well that I consider there's certain things you don't know about it.
Anything.
I would agree.
He just goes to the back and goes like, "Tell me, what do I need to know?"
I wouldn't consider it an investigation movie as much as I consider it as a crime thriller.
Yeah, crime definitely. I can 100% see that. I just think the only reason why people don't see this as because of how over the top it is. When it comes to certain things, of course. You know, namely Joker being like, I planted a bomb on one of these boats. Which is it, baby?
Yeah, that's true, but...
Yeah. And then, you know, Two-Face.
Yeah, there's a lot of insane moments.
Over the top
very, very, but...
And getting half of his face melted off, being like, well, time to go evil. And murder my wife. Oops, here I go killing again.
I know, it's stupid, but... I don't see it as an action movie. Whenever I think about Dark Knight, I never think about the action as much as I think about that dialogue or that character or the...
I'm always thinking about the cool scenes.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I love the scene where the Joker blows up the hospital.
Well,
That's a funny scene.
But I
think about the cool Batman beating the boys up. I think of that scene where Batman's got the Joker over the edge of the building.
I always just think of
that scene actually so much. That's like probably my favorite scene in the whole movie.
Really?
Yeah, I love that.
I just like every scene where we get to hear Batman and Joker actually talk, because the chemistry between Christian Bale and Heath Ledger, insane.
It was so good.
And that's what makes it so much better than every other movie, is because it proves that the main thing that's important in a film is a villain. Because your villain needs to be as good as your hero,
if not better.
Exactly, it needs to challenge them.
Yeah.
Right, and then The Dark Knight is probably one of the only movies where you really see a hero get challenged by his villains.
Because and they have to do it in a fair way. It can't just be like, I'm stronger than you, like with Man of Steel.
Yeah.
We
can get into the DCU if you want. I don't like a single one until we get to Shazam, and that's my.
You don't like any DC movie until Shazam?
Nope, not DCU at least.
Okay, I was about to say.
Right, we have the Dark Knight trilogy, which I love every one of them. Yeah. And then we get into the DCU, where it's just a bunch of duds. Then we got Shazam and Joker, and then we have Birds of Prey, and we'll see what goes there. But
I'm excited for Birds of Prey. It looks good.
I'm excited for it too, but it gives me such Suicide Squad vibes. Just like, it's a lot of color, a lot of action, a lot of explosion. The trailer is like literally almost the same as the Suicide Squad trailers.
Yeah, but this time we're not promised Joker.
That's true. But I didn't. That's not my biggest problem with Suicide Squad at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, it was the issue with the characters and the plot was dumb and all of it. Was just
the writing's horrible. It's horrible pacing. Editing's horrible.
All of it
There's
around.
So many.
The movie was horrible.
Exactly.
This time I'm hoping it's just going to be like better because they don't have to put the whole squad in.
Yeah, well, here's that's the big question here is if they're actually rebooting Suicide Squad again, which is supposed they're supposed to be rebooting instead of making a sequel.
I'm really hoping it's just going to be like a spin-off with Harley. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping it is.
Yeah, no, not Birds of Prey, but they're making a Suicide Squad reboot after this. Which, it's like, so what are they going to build Birds of Prey into? Are they just completely shifting away from Suicide Squad and then just focusing on her? It was supposed to go into a Joker movie, but that Joker movie got canceled, and then there's supposed to be a Joker and Harley Quinn movie that got canceled. So it's like, what are they doing with the Birds of Prey? What is it leading into? It's part of the DCU, so it has to connect and it has to go somewhere, right?
Birds of Prey, Harley Quinn finds Arthur Fleck, and they kiss. End of the movie. There you go. There's your Joker Harley Quinn movie. I just wrote it for you.
Apparently, everyone except for Joaquin Phoenix is like, nah, we're not doing Joker again. Like, he keeps trying to get Todd Phillips to do a sequel, and Todd Phillips is like, nah, I'm good.
Nah, man.
This is a one-hit wonder. We're done. But Joker's amazing, and I think that it would be better as a standalone film. It's the perfect origin. I've never seen an origin story done that well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially since a lot of it is, like, brand new to everybody. Like, a lot of it didn't exist before, and a lot of this is new.
Yeah.
Which makes it so good. Because you're taking an existing character, and then you're mixing it with, you know, things you're making.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so hard to do, and they did it so well.
Absolutely. It was phenomenal.
Exactly.
I want to see that movie again so bad.
I do. I was going to go see it again this week, and then I seen it was at a theater today, and I was like, shit, I'm going to see Lighthouse then.
Yeah. I gotta see that.
Lighthouse is amazing, but we're not going to get into that because
I haven't seen it.
I've never seen it, man. I don't want to spoil it for you, but
I gotta wait.
it's insanity, man.
I'm gonna have to see it tomorrow.
Might have to go with you, dude, if I get money to go. I might have to.
Man, I might have to get money for that too. My bank account is dwindling.
I feel
I
you,
spent
bro.
my whole paycheck in 4 days. Not even gonna lie.
I'm with you on that, dude.
I don't even remember what I bought. I think I just bought a lot of stuff at EB Games.
Oh my god. Oh yeah. Wait, I was with you.
Which time? I went twice.
And you bought Luigi's Mansion and a bunch of other $5 things.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. And then I went back and I bought Dark Souls.
Oh my lord. The Steelbook?
Yeah, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, it was so pretty, I had to.
Isn't it like $100?
It was $65.
Oh, okay.
I
It's
ain't
better
gonna...
than 120.
Exactly. I spent $65 on 3 games I already own.
Oh my fucking.
Because I like the pretty case. I'm terrible with money, man. That's why I need my job there.
Right? You used to get the discount.
Facts.
Let's be honest, you're spending more money at EB Games than you were at Source anyway.
No, that's a double fact. I buy nothing at the source.
I kind of want to work at the Source. I really do.
Dude,
actually.
apply.
I'm gonna apply, but then I have the Mary Brown thing, and I'd probably rather work at Mary Brown's. All my shifts will be 4 to 9 and 4 to 9:30. That's like perfect.
That is pretty solid, dang.
But
it's also a lot closer.
yeah, it's like literally just like right up there.
Yeah.
Which is like technically it's in the same mall as EB Games, but still closer.
Not the same mall.
I was like,
They're in
right
two
next.
different buildings, but yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're literally in the same lot.
Yeah, same plaza.
Yeah.
Comedian with the fancy words.
Fancy.
I'm shy.
But yeah, Joker. What is your prediction on Joaquin Phoenix and Joker's chances in the Oscars?
Oh, and the Oscars?
Yeah.
It's definitely gonna. I almost want to give Joaquin Best Actor, to be honest.
I'm with you on that. Here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's been anti-Joker winning Oscars, man.
Why?
Like Oscar voters. So even if it gets nominated, there's a good chance he doesn't get any votes.
Why are they so against it?
I read an article that Oscar voters were saying that it was too controversial to get nominated or
That's
something.
so stupid.
Which
oh my
like
god.
the opposite of what.
It's not even controversial.
Yeah, here's what I was talking
It's
about.
legit just society, lol.
Yeah, it's just.
Where's the controversy in it? Oh my
everyone
god.
says it glorifies gun violence.
No, it doesn't.
I say in my review, and I stick to it, that doesn't glorify gun violence. It's the exact opposite, and it shows the negative effect that gun violence has on a community.
Yeah.
It literally, gun violence caused chaos to the point of other deaths. And it shows that in the film, and it shows that it's a product of what mental illness was, and that it
We
shows
need
it
to
in
take
all
care of
the
mental
negative
illnesses
ways.
correctly.
Exactly.
It's like saying it's controversial because
I
it
disagree.
says a message.
Right?
Like,
and you tell people that, and they're like, I disagree. And it's like, how do you disagree? It's literally what it
you're
is.
biased. I
You're
win.
biased.
Bye-bye. And then that's it. And you're like, well, okay.
Exactly. Alright.
Remember when this podcast was about Marvel movies?
We're going right back into it right now.
Alright.
With Captain America, First Avenger thoughts. It was the first MC movie I think I ever seen.
Really?
Yeah.
I really liked it. I've never been a fan of Captain America.
See, I was always a fan of Captain America. That's why it was the first one I watched.
I never really was, because I'm like, oh, he's a dude that took steroids and has a shield. Wow. And I just thought it was boring, but I really liked the movie, actually.
I like it a lot from a personal perspective, like a personal entertainment enjoyment perspective. I
Yeah,
love it because I
absolutely.
love Captain America. I love Red Skull.
Mhm.
But then, like from a movie perspective, since I watched it multiple times, I can take it my personal bias out of it and then look at it and be like, it's not that great. Like it's not a great film. It's really like my biggest problem is that it feels really slow paced. It's kind of boring.
It definitely has a few lull moments.
Yeah. A lot of like the origin is like uninteresting. Like it's just not interesting. His origin's just not interesting.
Just a little
It's like,
scrawny boy.
right? But
Have you ever seen
Red
any
Skull's
of the,
so great.
Have you ever seen the director's cut or
No.
like any of the extra features?
No.
There's scenes of Chris Evans pretending to not be able to do a push-up, and it's hilarious.
Really?
Cool, yeah, because he goes to the army, he's the scrawny boy,
Yeah.
but you know he's actually buff as heck.
Hmm.
And you see the buff him like struggling to do a push-up, and it's actually so funny. I love it.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah.
I actually think I don't have this movie yet. I have the other one, but we'll talk about that one later because like I have a lot to say with that one.
No, dude, I felt syndicated.
But first Avenger, dude, it's like at the end of the day, like I think it's a good movie. I think I give it like a 7.3 when I first went and did my reviews and stuff like this.
Mhm.
But I'd probably get like a 7.5 ish.
That's fair.
It's a good.
It's just an enjoyable movie to watch with your dad
Yeah, it's a good
and the
installment.
dog.
Yeah, it's a fun. It's like
It's
a
just
good
a
installment.
movie for all the American family.
Exactly. Like it's not a great origin story. Like when,
No.
like compared to Iron Man, it's not.
No.
Compared to Joker, like we were just talking about,
Like
it's not.
really, Captain America doesn't really have much of an origin. Let's be real.
Well,
It's
yeah.
basically he's a skinny boy in the army, and then he gets picked on, and then they're like, "Hey, you wanna be buff?
We
And
give
they're
you
like,
steroids that we don't
We
know
will-
if they kill or not.
We will give you illegal drugs not known by, and you will get so strong." And he's like, "I'll do it." And then he's like, "I'm Captain America. I want you to kill Nazis or
Yeah.
Russians or whatever it was."
But it's a decent movie. I like it.
Yeah, for sure.
But here is the
Next
first
movie.
Juggernaut. So this is the first phase. Yeah, the two Iron Man movies: Thor, Captain America, Incredible Hulk. Now we have the big movie. It's one of my favorite movies ever.
But
I watched it.
Galaxy, baby.
I watched this the opening weekend. Came out way back when I was a kid, 2012. Avengers. The Avengers, baby. I fucking love this
Avengers,
movie.
baby. That movie was fantastic.
I absolutely love everything about it.
So good. I love Loki. He's probably one of my favorite villains.
Loki's great. I think Loki
He's
doesn't
so
get enough
fun.
credit. He carries the first phase in terms of villains.
That's a fact.
But
Like, I don't even remember who the villain was in Iron Man 1 or 2.
yeah, me neither. Like the villains in the first phase are
because it's Red Skull.
yeah, Red Skull. He's iconic, but Loki really carries it into the second phase. Where like you don't really remember a villain in Winter Soldier. You don't really remember a villain in like any of the
Who's
second
the villain in
phase.
Thor 1? I forget.
I don't know.
I remember the fight. I just don't remember who the main bad guy was.
Me neither, but
Was it some dude in a black hole or what? I forget.
I might have to search that up.
Twist the council.
Let's take
But yeah, no, Avengers 1's phenomenal. I love it so much.
Yeah, I love Avengers. I love.
But the first time you meet Black Widow and Hawkeye? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I know
Wait.
it's the first time you meet Hawkeye.
I don't think it's the first time you meet Black Widow.
No.
I could be tripping, but I'm pretty sure you meet him beforehand because she's like so connected to Shield.
Yeah.
So I think he shows up.
Yeah. She's
Before
probably
this?
just, like there with Nick Fury.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, and I'm 99% sure she does,
Yeah.
but I could be wrong.
But I know it's the first time.
Definitely
Hawkeye
the first
shows up
time you meet
because they're like,
Hawkeye.
"Where's he at?" It's in the Hawk's nest.
Yeah.
And he's up there like.
But I love it. I love it that they introduced two new characters as like more lead roles. They
What two?
well, Hawkeye and Black Widow. Like,
Oh, Black Widow. Yeah.
They introduced them. You finally get the build up of what they were. You finally understand what they were doing with the first 5 movies. You're like, all right, this makes more sense. This is really when Iron Man becomes like the face of MCU 100%.
Absolutely.
This is definitely when Robert Downey Jr. is like considered like you can't replace him. Like he's Tony Stark 100%. I feel like he kind of did that in the first one, but this one he's like solidified. It's like
Yeah.
it was when they all kind of like fall into their iconic roles. Chris Evans, he's Captain America. You can't change that. This is the first when they introduced Mark Ruffalo in as the new Hulk.
Yes, that's right. That's the first time we see him.
Yeah, so this is like the
I
this
love
is
Mark
pretty
Ruffalo.
big. I love Mark Ruffalo.
He's
too.
such a good Hulk.
He's a really good Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
And he's an okay Hulk. I'm not gonna say he's amazing.
Well,
I feel like there
because-
could probably be so many other good choices as Hulk, but like
Well,
he does the
actually,
best he can do.
The thing is, he's like barely Hulk because Hulk is just all CGI and
Well,
like
yeah.
grunting.
Hmm.
He just grunts
And
he's
like facial
animated.
expressions.
Oh, dude, his facial expressions are A1.
All right.
Yeah.
But he's obviously great for his role. I do wish we eventually got a Hulk solo movie with Bruce Banner, but we're never gonna get it. We don't need it now. If they did that now, it would be awful. They should have given it to us and had a chance, but they can never buy the rights from Universal, man. Universal was always like, no, you can have Avengers, but that's it.
Yeah. I still love the scene where Hulk just flings Loki around.
That's amazing, yeah. But I love everything about it. I think they do such a good job of balancing all these different characters on screen.
Absolutely.
Which I struggle with later on, but we're not even going to get into that after.
Oh my god, yeah.
But in this, they do a really good job with it. And it's just great. It's just a really fun, really action-packed, fast-paced, entertaining movie.
Mm-hmm.
Decent story. It's a great build. Like, there was a great build-up to it. It's satisfying.
Yeah.
And without this, we wouldn't even have this whole... Like, if this was a flop, we wouldn't have...
Oh, no, the MCU would have died.
Yeah, this was great. But now, after this, we have... Can you guess? Do you know which one's
Guardians of the Galaxy, baby.
Not quite.
Dang it, that's 2012, isn't it?
Guardians of the Galaxy is 2014. We're in 2012 or 2013 right now. 2012, I think.
Yeah, okay, so what came after the Avengers?
Yeah, know this, man.
Do I know this? Let's... Captain America 2?
No.
No, okay, well, we'll do one more try. One more try, though.
One last try, one last guess.
Alright, trying to think, so... 2012...
Let me make sure it's actually 2012, not 2013.
Thor 2, baby!
Nope.
I forget.
It's Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3? Ah, that's right.
You guessed everything else in the face.
I like to forget about Iron Man 3.
I love Iron Man 3. It's 2013.
Alright.
What's your thoughts on Iron Man 3? You apparently don't like it?
I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't know.
It's huge things. I don't remember a lot of it, but I remember when I watched it, I loved it.
I don't remember much of it either, to be honest with you.
Like, I have very vivid memories of it.
Yeah.
But, like, the things I remember loving. Like, I love the ending to the movie. I love how they do with, like, giving, like, these other side characters you barely think of bigger roles. Mm-hmm. I think it's a good kind of savor for the trilogy because the second one is so bad.
Oh my god, the second one was terrible.
Exactly. And the third one's like, I gave the third one like an 8.5,
maybe 8.7. I don't know.
I gotta rewatch it too. That was my rating that I gave it when I first watched it. I need to rewatch it for sure.
Oh, snap.
I've only seen it a couple times. I don't remember a lot of it. But can't say too much. We both don't remember it much. But I have it downstairs. I'm gonna rewatch it eventually.
Alright, next movie.
Thor: The Dark World.
Yo, I saw that one with my friend Connor in theaters.
Really? I think I've seen it in theaters too.
I'm very partial to it.
Personally, I don't like it at all.
Really?
I feel like Thor: The Dark World.
Well, actually, I don't blame you for not liking that movie. It's kind of bad.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie.
I just find that both the Thor movies are just too, like, darkish to me. Like, they're just so out of place. Like, I don't think the comedy doesn't work. Like, the little bit of comedy they try to put in both of them don't work that much. And I definitely don't think that they use Thor the way they should in either of the movies, especially not in the Dark World.
He was cool and heroic. He was cool. I liked him.
But...
Also, more Loki was nice. I really liked how, well, I mean, it also set up Loki as Odin.
Yeah.
Or, Ragnarok.
Yeah.
I like that. Fun fact, the main alien bad guy, for some reason I do remember the bad guys for Thor 2, he was played by the Ninth Doctor in Doctor Who.
Really?
Yeah, same actor. I forget his name, though.
Oh my goodness.
Doctor Who. Yeah, it was the ninth one. Christopher Eccleston. That's it.
Okay. I don't know who that is. I probably know when I see him, but...
Probably not, actually.
Really?
He's been in, like, Doctor Who and that, and that's it.
I love Doctor Who.
Really? I didn't really watch it.
I used to watch it all the time, but I don't watch it anymore.
Yeah, me either. It's wild.
Yeah.
Next movie.
Yeah, no, Thor: Dark World. So, like, what was your rating for Iron Man 3? Forgot to rate. Avengers?
Oh, yeah, we haven't been rating the last few movies. Let's just get rid of that.
We gotta rate all of them. Avengers, 9.2 out of 10 for me.
I'm gonna say solid 8.5.
Damn. Iron Man 3, I give a solid 8, 8.5.
I'm gonna give it a question mark.
Okay. And Thor: Dark World, I give like a 5, 6 maybe.
I'm gonna give it a 6.
Yeah. Alright, this is the big one. It's the one that you know I love.
Guardians of the Galaxy, baby.
Come on, bro. You should know this. It's Captain America: The Winter Soldier, my favorite MCU movie, my third favorite comic book film ever made.
I fell asleep in the theaters.
Oh my fucking god, how's that even possible? I think the movie's amazing. I love the pacing, I love the camera work.
I like the scene where he's pulling the helicopter back. That's a cool scene. I like the scene where they go down in the base and there's all the TVs with the dude's face on them. The scientist man. He's like, goodbye. And
I just love
that scene reminds me of Black Ops.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
But this is the movie that solidified me as like my favorite hero in the universe, Captain America. At this point, I just love this movie. I think the movie's incredible. I think that it's so. I think it works as more than just a superhero movie, and that's the big thing. I mean, the movies I like the most, the ones that work, is more than just a superhero movie. Just like a typical superhero movie, like Iron Man works more than just a superhero film, right? That's what makes it so good, right? We said the origin story. It's more about the character and like the guy in the mask than the mask.
Yeah.
And that's why that one works so well. And then I have Captain America, one of Soldier, something that works like a spy movie or like a you know, on that level.
Yeah. I don't have much to say about it. I fell asleep.
I give it a 9.5 out of 10.
I'll take your word for it.
I gotta rewatch it. I have downstairs. Why do I have all these movies downstairs? I didn't watch them anymore. Alright, here's your movie that you finally want to talk about.
Guardians of the Galaxy, baby.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite MCU movie.
Really?
Not even gonna lie. It's probably that or Spider-Man.
The fuck? Spider-Man?
Dude, I love
It's
Spider-Man.
not even like conversation for me, but...
Dude, Guardians of the Galaxy is my favorite Marvel. It's
Guardians of the Galaxy I put in the conversation for my like top 5. I wouldn't even put Spider-Man in.
Yeah,
We'll get that after.
Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. But that's showbiz, baby.
That showbiz, baby.
But yeah, nah. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. Chris Pratt's performance was phenomenal. I love him. He's so funny. I love the whole soundtrack. It's so good.
Yeah, I think that's what makes this movie so good, is that like it's a movie that's set in modern time, but you have to feel like you're like in like 20 years before the time it's actually taking place in, because you have to get in the mindset of Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Like, you need to feel like him, and he still feels like he's kind of like embedded in that time.
Yeah, he feels like he's in the 80s.
Exactly, and you need to feel like you're in the 80s
well,
with him.
He does make a lot of awesome references where he's like, is Kevin Bacon still the best actor in the world? He never was.
Yeah.
I love that line.
Oh, man.
Even though that's Avengers.
Yeah.
But still. Gamora, she's cool.
I like Gamora a lot, actually.
I
I really like the actress that plays
She's just
her.
really cool, badass.
Yeah.
Now, Drax. Ooh, I love Drax.
I like Dave Bautista
so
in this.
funny.
I don't normally like Bautista in movies, but he's pretty good in this.
I love him.
WWE superstar, man.
Everybody loves Groot, obviously, because he says, "Don't find me, I love Groot."
I just find him annoying now, but
yeah,
in this he was cool. But yeah.
Rocket Raccoon, he's cool.
I love Rocket Raccoon, my favorite character,
awesome.
because I think they do a really good job with his comedy, and then isn't he voiced by what's his face? Searching it up.
Yeah.
Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, that's right.
I only have to search it up. Yeah,
oh my god.
Voice, and I love fucking Bradley Cooper.
Oh, dude,
he's so good.
I love him in Horrible Bosses.
Oh, I love him in everything. I love him in Silver Linings Playbook, Star is Born,
What was that?
American Hustle.
What was that movie? Was it Horrible Bosses that has Chris Evans' brother? Not Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth's brother.
Liam Hemsworth?
Liam Hemsworth, yeah. It has him and Bradley Cooper in it, I'm pretty sure.
Let me see. I don't think it's Horrible Bosses.
What movie is that? I'm thinking of it now. They call him up on the phone. It's funny.
Let me see. I'm searching Liam Hemsworth right now because he's not one of those actors that I really follow where I would know.
Me neither.
Because he's not in a lot of stuff. I didn't like him in Hunger Games personally, but...
I'm about to get behind here, see what movies he's in.
Where is it?
Go up. Hunger Games, last song. Nah, man, it was a comedy.
Ooh, what is he in with? What is this? You sure? Because this is everything he's been in.
Man, maybe it was his other brother.
Chris Hemsworth? You think maybe just Chris Hemsworth?
Nah, it wasn't Chris Hemsworth. I remember thinking, dang, he looks like Chris Hemsworth. And then it wasn't him. Chris Hemsworth, that's Thor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I thought so.
I don't know, dude. Maybe he's in Hunger Games.
Yeah, he is, because it says it right there.
No, I meant Bradley Cooper.
Oh, no. No, it was a comedy. They call him on the phone and stuff.
I don't know why I have this weird feeling that Bradley Cooper's in Hunger Games.
No, he's not.
I don't know, dude. I just feel like I
back
remember
to the
him.
discussion.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy, I love the movie. All the characters work together great. The villain was badass.
Yeah, I think it really does a really good job at being like...
Also introduces more of the Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
And
I think it's really important for the series. I think it does... First movie that's really, really, really set in space. It's like really big and really fun and really comedic, and then like the chemistry between the actors are amazing. Yeah. The team building is amazing.
Really resonate with all of them, especially Chris Pratt.
Well, yeah, Chris Pratt's incredible.
Oh, he's
phenomenal.
I adore him.
You know, he's never been anyone that was like amazing in anything else.
Oh no, he was amazing in Parks and Rec.
I've never seen Parks and Rec.
Dude, it's such a funny show.
Everything I've seen when he was amazing, but this he's like completely embodies the role. He's amazing in this.
Mm-hmm.
But I love Guardians of the Galaxy. I think it's really good. I give it like an 8.5
I give
personally.
it
9. I give it an 8.5 because I think that though it's good, comparing it to some of my other ones that I like more, I don't think it's as good as like Avengers or Winter Soldier or Iron Man, but it's really good.
Yeah.
Now we got
here's a little fun tidbit. So Chris Pratt was really fat before the movie, and they like had to get him buff for it. But he was also still in Parks and Rec.
Oh yeah.
And he was like known as the tubby funny guy. So like between seasons, he like got shredded. And then they're talking about it in one episode, and Ben's like, "How did you lose so much weight?" He's like, "I cut out beer. That's it." He's like, "How much beer did you drink?" He's like, "A lot." And that's it.
Oh man, I love when actors do that, dude. Dude, Jonah Hill, that dude drops 100 pounds and gains 100 pounds like fucking nothing.
God, I know.
Always for roles. He's such a good actor too.
He is. He'll be like skinny as a twig in one movie, and then you'll see him on the streets and he's like a taco.
Yeah.
He's like,
dude, I don't know how someone is so insanely in tune with their body where they can do that. But
Jared Leto just loses weight.
Oh yeah.
Weight too.
Well, dude, Joaquin Phoenix dropped to like.
Oh my god. Everyone who takes the Joker role does that.
Yeah, I know.
It's an issue.
Well, I guess it's because it's so, like, everyone knows, like, it's a known fact that mental health is really tied in with anorexia and obesity, so it's like...
True enough.
Joker's all about mental illnesses, so it's like...
I'm the Joker, baby.
Joker, baby. Mr. J. Oh, Lord.
Next movie.
Alright, we got a stinker here, man.
Stinker.
Avengers Age of Ultron. Fucking stinker. I don't even remember most of it.
I wouldn't say it's a stinker. I liked it. I saw it in theaters. It was good.
You don't think it's a stinker?
No, not really.
I don't like it. I don't remember liking any of it at all. I remember finding it really boring and stupid.
When it first came out and I was a kid, and I was like,
poorly written.
Well,
you weren't a kid. You were like 13 years old.
Yeah, that's a kid.
Dude, you were 14.
Yeah, that's a kid.
Okay, yeah.
I like barely became mature at the age of 18.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
I'm still a kid.
I'm still a kid too.
I'm a baby. I'm a baby boy.
I think who played Ultron? Like, oh yeah, fucking loves James. I love James Spader.
I don't even know who that is.
Dude, he plays Red and Black.
More like David Spader.
He plays Red in fucking Blacklist, bro.
I haven't seen Blacklist.
You hating ass nigga. He's so good in Blacklist. We're not gonna get into that.
I just like Age of Ultron. I like the cool robots. I like how they fight them. My favorite part was Ultron spends about 5 minutes on the internet and realizes, wow, the Avengers are bad, and then decides to kill them. And I'm like, yeah, me too, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's stupid. I think it's like, yeah, it's whatever. I think that if you take that out,
Scarlet Witch is just dumb.
I love Scarlet Witch.
I just never liked her in anything.
Really?
Yeah.
We'll talk more about her when we get into some other ones with her. Because I really like her in Infinity War.
It's like, why is she mad at... Well, I mean, I get why she's so against Stark.
I really like her in Civil War, too. But... I'm excited for the WandaVision show, too. So.
Yeah.
I just want to see what they do with it, man.
When did Wanda and Vision even become a thing? It never shows it.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? That's what the WandaVision thing exists, but it does show it. Because their connection was obviously very strong in Civil War.
Not even.
Yes, it was. Do you not remember? That was one of my favorite parts of the entire movie, is that you could feel the connection between the two.
Into her room and talking to her. And
what? Dude, the scene where she had to kill Vision, or like, you know what I mean, like attack Vision, was like one of the most emotionally intense scenes in the entire film for me. Because I felt it, bro. I was like, yo, what the fuck? I don't know. Maybe it's just that it depends on the person, but from my perspective, I felt the connection between the two. Then you see it in Infinity War. You see it. You see them kiss.
Felt stupid and pulled out of nowhere for me.
I would agree if it wasn't pulled out of nowhere. It was
pulled out
built up from Civil War, man.
Barely built up.
I don't
They've
agree.
had 3 interactions and that's it.
But it's also like, what else can they, like, how much can they really build it up anyway? They do too much. It's the biggest problem with the MCU.
A lot of Natasha stuff.
They didn't do anything for Hawkeye. Everything with Hawkeye just happens.
Yeah. You're like, hey, I got a family. And you're like, what? How did the Avengers do that?
I know.
We're the greatest intelligence agency in the world. We didn't know he was married.
It's so stupid. It's like,
Now that was
oh,
an asshole.
new thing with Hawkeye. Oh, new thing with Hawkeye.
Yeah, and then they were like, by the way, Hawkeye's cool in Endgame.
I loved him in Endgame. I'm gonna, we gotta, we can talk more about these characters once we get into their movies, because I feel like this is...
Yeah, the Hawkeye movie, that's totally coming.
Age of Ultron, anyways, I give it like a 3. Oh yeah, Hawkeye's not even happening no more.
I don't even remember what I gave it. I just enjoyed it a bit. I'll give it 4 or 5.
Nice.
5, yeah, I'd say.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Did you hear about that news about Hawkeye show?
Yeah, that's right.
Getting fucked?
What?
So, Jeremy Renner's ex-wife said he put a gun up to her head and said, "I'll blow your brains," something like that, during like a huge like coke infested like fight that they had over their kids, and apparently like super abusive. Right? He's under a really bad publicity, so I guess he's getting cut out of the show completely. And then they're either gonna cancel it or they're gonna make it over to his daughter instead.
Either way, that sounds terrible.
I kind of, but I think it'd be a little interesting to know.
I don't care about Hawkeye's daughter. I want to watch Hawkeye.
I know. I need a Hawkeye show, dude. Why does Jeremy Renner have to be a dick?
I doubt he even did that.
I don't know, dude. I've heard there's some pretty crazy Jeremy Renner stories out there from way before. Yeah.
Did you know Jeremy Renner had his own like social media platform? It was just
really?
Jeremy Renner, yeah.
Do you know how many actors actually hate Jeremy Renner?
I don't even know anything about him. I just know he's Hawkeye.
I just learned all this stuff because of what happened, and I just learned like everyone hates his guts, and everyone has hated his guts for a while.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know he was that bad, man.
That's like discovering Robert Downey Jr. used to be an insane cokehead.
But with that being said, we don't know for sure like how true everything is, and obviously if it gets resolved before the show goes into production, there's a chance that we get what we're supposed to get, but.
Yeah,
sure. I mean, are we losing that much without it? Probably not. I think it would be better if we got the Hawkeye movie of him in Japan, but...
Yeah, that'd be the best. Alright, next movie.
Yeah, next movie. And now we are back on to another... stinker. Ant-Man.
I love Ant-Man.
I fucking hate it.
Fuck you. I love Ant-Man. That movie, I give that movie an 8.5 out of 10. By the way, I love that movie.
Give it a 2 out of 10, bro. I'm sitting at 2 out of 10.
It was so funny, for one.
Here's my problem with the movie, is that in every level it disappoints, because I love Paul Rudd.
Oh, he's the best.
I love the original director going into it, that they changed. Oh, fuck, what's his name?
I don't even care who the director is.
What's the director of, like, Hot Fuzz? And
yeah.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
He never directed the movie. He got taken off, because Disney was like, we're not gonna let you make your own movie. You gotta do what we say. And he's like, well, then I'm gonna not do it then.
Yeah.
So they just got a director to just do whatever Disney wants. Whenever companies make a movie, it always sucks. And Ant-Man, for me, sucks, because I don't find it that funny. I don't think it's a great heist movie. I don't think it works as anything.
I just really enjoyed it. I thought Paul Rudd was really funny. I liked him and his daughter. Him and, the new stepdad. I like the interaction with that.
I get why you.
I like him as a father, really.
I'm gonna rewatch it because I haven't seen it in forever.
It's really good.
And try to give it a second chance.
I like,
I'm so wrong.
I like the Mexican dude. He was funny. Yo, I heard from my friend that like his sister's quinceañera.
But I just remember watching the movie and being like, I just read the comic books and I love the comics.
See, I
hate the movie.
I don't compare it to the comics. I don't compare any movie to comics.
I try not to, because this is the thing, right? People argue that Joker is not a comic book movie because it's not based off any comics. Like, these movies, just because they have the names of these comics, they're not really based off these comics. No. They're not accurate at all.
God, no.
But with Ant-Man, it's not the accuracy I'm looking for, because I love Black Panther, and I don't really find a connection to it.
Oh, dude, Civil War is insanely off the comics.
Oh, so different.
Captain America died, so
right.
Originally.
Yeah, I know. That's why I had such high hopes for Civil War. That's why I expected someone to die.
Captain America's gonna finally die.
But we'll get into that. Literally, it's the next movie, yeah.
Of course.
But with Ant-Man,
I love it. It was cool. It was fun to watch. I had a good time. I love Paul Rudd.
Listen, I love Paul Rudd. I'm giving it a 2. Both 2s is just for Paul Rudd.
You give it a 2. I give it an 8. That makes it a 10 out of 10, baby.
But no, the 2 stars go straight up to Paul Rudd. I love Paul Rudd. I think he's amazing. I think he's really funny. I think he's just a phenomenal actor. I don't think that he fits the role. I don't like him as Ant-Man.
I think he did a great Ant-Man.
I think he did a great. I think he's a great person, right? Yeah. I just think that he's gonna fit in anything that he's in. But I think that like when it comes to like the perfect Ant-Man, I would have picked like 100 other people.
I don't even know who I'd pick as Ant-Man other than him.
But Ben
Stiller.
But here's the thing, right? that was my reaction to the first Ant-Man. I didn't think Paul Rudd was a good Ant-Man, but then like I changed my opinion when I watched Ant-Man and the Wasp. We'll
Yeah,
get to that
great.
later.
He was
Right,
good in
because-
Civil War too for the brief moment he was in it.
Yeah. Well,
And then he got put on house arrest.
exactly. But I just don't think it's that great. Whenever I think about it compared to the comics, my main thing with the comics and the movies, I just want to feel like they have someone that fits the character so well and just matches the comic almost.
Yeah,
Just with the character, not the story. I can care less about the story. Make it different. I don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Just the character matters to me when it comes to that. Because I only read a few comics, like Daredevil, it matters to me. Ant-Man, Black Panther. Those were like the ones that mattered to me because I read those.
Yeah.
So with Ant-Man, I just didn't feel like it fit the bill. But that's just my opinion. Moving on to Captain America: Civil War.
I liked Civil War. It was good.
I'm not a fan.
I liked Bucky. I like Bucky Barnes.
Oh, I love Bucky.
He was cool. I like the big fights. I like getting to see Spider-Man.
Yeah, I love the Black Panther versus Winter Soldier fight. I love that
I
they did a
forgot
really
Black
good.
Panther was in that movie.
Oh my
I
God.
completely forgot about
My favorite
that.
part of the movie is the way they introduced Black Panther into
Dude,
it.
I completely forgot about him.
The action's amazing in Civil War. Probably some of the best action in the entire
The
MCU.
fights are good. I like the bad guy.
He's the bad guy.
There's a bad guy.
Who's the bad guy?
It's that dude who
That
keeps...
dude that no one even actually knows.
I liked it when he was like, September 7th, 1943, red, and then said all the words. That's all I remember of him.
But like, it's so weird making any sense.
And I
like,
remember that scene at the end where he's like in the metal box, and he's like, he killed your parents.
yeah, I hate that. That's what I hate about Winter Soldier. It's like it exists for convenience sake, but it's like really messy. It doesn't really make any sense. It's just like all these things that we need for future movies are just thrown in this movie.
Yeah.
I don't think it should have introduced both Spider-Man and Black Panther because I think that Spider-Man's introduction to the MCU was really weak because of that. Because it was more Black Panther oriented for the first half of the film, and then we get in the second half of the film and it's all Captain America and Iron Man, like it should be. But I think it ruins it for Spider-Man. I think it's a bad introduction.
Yeah, I was just like, Bruce.
Yeah. And then I didn't like Tom Holland originally as Spider-Man because I thought he was really whiny in this movie. His voice was really whiny. I thought he was a little too young at the time.
Baby.
Yeah, but then
Like
I like him more now. But then I didn't like him. I remember walking to the theater with Zach and we're both like, yeah, it was like really bad Spider-Man, but now it's different, right? Like I like him more now. Then I didn't like him. I didn't think he fit the role that well.
Cute. I love him.
But I also don't think they gave him enough anything for him.
Oh,
What
that's
else
a
is
cool
there?
arm. Can I see? What? No, it's
Oh, yeah.
it's Bucky.
Stupid lines from a stupid movie. No, I like Captain America the movie. I give it like a 7.
I give it a 7. Yeah, I can get
Yeah.
down with that.
Yeah, like there's great moments. There's a lot of things that don't make sense. A lot of things that just exist for convenience sake, which is this is what Martin Scorsese talks about. Movies like Civil War that exist just for the sake of pushing on a franchise is why he doesn't think the movie's a real cinema, right?
Yeah, that's probably fair. He probably saw like Iron Man 2
Yeah.
and like was like, poopy.
But
And he took a fat dump in the theaters and left. He said, I'm Martin Scorsese, fuck you.
just imagine.
That's the exact thing that happened. He took a shit in the middle of the aisle, didn't wipe, left, went up to the usher and said, fuck you, I'm Martin Scorsese. He just came to like Cineplex or something like that and just did it. And the
We're
whole-
calling the police. I'm
Poor
Martin
six.
Scorsese.
That's all he says. Poor 16-year-old dude had to clean that up. Was like, man, this sucks.
Oh my god. Okay.
Next
But yeah,
one.
so we both give it 7 out of 10. Moving on to the next movie, Doctor Strange.
Yo, I love Doctor Strange.
I love Doctor Strange as a character. I think, oh my god, Cumberbatch is incredible Doctor Strange.
Absolutely.
Visually,
Could
and
not
phenomenal.
imagine another Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah, I couldn't. Cumberbatch is an incredible. Like Benedict's such a good actor. Not a good Grinch. Incredible Doctor Strange
Wait.
though.
Benedict Cumberbatch the Grinch?
Yeah, the new animated one.
I did not know that, and I never needed to know that.
I'm sorry, I had to tell you, man. I don't like him as Grinch. I think he's a really bad Grinch. I think the whole Grinch stuff. We'll talk about it when we do our Christmas podcast and Christmas movies. We'll talk about Grinch and all everything.
Christmas with the Cranks.
Christmas with the
Tim
Cranks.
Allen, baby.
Tim Allen's Santa Claus trilogy
It was such a good trilogy.
got re-released with super cool slipcovers at Walmart, and they're at our Walmart. All 3 of them. I might get them all.
That's
It's fucking badass, bro.
But yeah, no, Doctor Strange. I love that movie. I love Doctor Strange himself. I like everything he goes through, being the cool brain surgeon or whatever.
I think the movie's a little boring.
Hands break, and he's like, I just love how the dude's hands break, and he's like, well, I'm gonna go to Europe. or Asia or wherever.
Yeah, I know, but
And he's like, "Hello, crack den. I'm gonna go in here."
I just find the whole movie just a little boring for me. A little just not. It's just there's nothing that really like got me into the film. I was like, wow, this is great. Like there's moments that took me out of the film. The visuals are amazing. Like it's beautiful.
I think the best visuals in an American movie.
Oh, definitely for me. Like it's stunning. It's a beautiful visual film. But then when I go into the story, I think it's a little
movie
boring,
that's
a little
definitely
poorly
carried by
written.
the characters.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's definitely a character film. I don't think it's a good origin story either. And which sucks because I love Doctor Strange origin. I love it. I love the animated movie they did back in like 2008. I love that. I love the comic. Like I love Doctor Strange, and I was so excited for this Doctor Strange movie because I love Doctor Strange, one of my favorite heroes, and I just a little disappointed. Yeah. I probably should rewatch it again. Like I need to rewatch a lot of these because like the ones I don't like, I just watch once and I'm like, fuck that, never watch it again. This is one of them, but I'll watch it again.
Yeah.
But I love Benedict, and like I said, like it's an okay movie. I got like a 6.
Really?
Yeah.
I even at least I think I'd even give it an 8.
Really?
I love that movie.
Yeah, I said I don't love it personally. I think it's kind of the writing's a little messy. I think it's a little boring. I think it's not the greatest written film. I think that it takes you out of the film sometimes. The visuals are great, but even sometimes the visuals take you out of the movie instead of put you into it.
Dormammu,
It's a little too big at times. But because like I feel like with origin story shouldn't be huge, and I feel like Doctor Strange is kind of huge. But I like it. It's still like it's an okay movie. It's like a 6. For me, a 6 isn't that bad. 6 is above average. Well, kind of like in the average.
Yeah. 7 is like good. 8's pretty good. 9's like wow, and 10's like it's a masterpiece, baby.
Yeah, like 8. Why do it's like 5? So 5 and 6, average. 7, pretty decent.
If it's a 5, I'm saying you should watch it.
Yeah, 8, good. 9, amazing, like fantastic. Then 10, masterpiece. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, bad. Don't watch this shit.
Yeah. Alright, what's the next movie?
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
I knew it was. I actually didn't love that movie.
I don't like this movie at all.
I did not like the dad.
Remember when I was talking about Zombieland, and I said I don't want Zombieland 2 to be the same as Zombieland?
Yeah, that's kind of
biggest problem with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which is like, oh, Guardians of the Galaxy really worked. Let's do Guardians again.
It's just remake the movie.
Yeah, it's basically the same.
I like
it's not as interesting. Yeah, like there's some good things about it. Like they introduced some.
You know what scene really made me mad though?
What?
So it's such an emotional scene at the end where he's like gonna kill his own dad.
Oh my god! Yeah.
And then he turns into Pac-Man. I'm like, man, that's so stupid.
What the hell? Stupid. I feel like when I watch Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, the big difference between Guardians of the Galaxy is I went with such low expectations of Guardians of the Galaxy and loved it. And I was thinking, this is amazing, this is great, it's a great moment. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, I go in not with huge standards because I heard it wasn't that good. Turns out it was really bad. So I went in thinking, oh, maybe it'll be okay. And all I was thinking is, this is awful, this was bad, this was stupid, this is dumb.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest problem with the movie. I don't find it's not much very funny. It is obviously amazing soundtrack, but like Guardians of the Galaxy, it's expected now, so you can't impress me anymore with that.
My biggest gripe is how unmemorable everything in the movie is.
Exactly.
I look back on it, nothing happened in that movie.
Yeah.
It was legit. Guys, it's my dad. Oh no, my dad's evil.
Comparing that to Guardians of the Galaxy, Guardians of the Galaxy is probably the most memorable MCU movie.
Ain't your father.
Top 3.
But I'm always going to be your daddy.
But
I love that scene.
Volume 2 is just
Mary Poppins.
I just forget about it. I don't know.
Blue dude, red mohawk. I love that guy.
Yeah, I don't know his name. I don't remember.
I just call him Dad.
I have another movie that I think is really not that memorable next, but you love it. Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Dude, one of my favorite movies.
I gotta be fair with you. I gotta rewatch it for sure. I don't remember a lot of it. I tried rewatching it recently. Watched the first 10 minutes. And I like the first 10 minutes a bit, but I think there's a lot of problems. I think it's really stupid. This is the main thing I have with the first 10 minutes, where it's just like, oh, we handle these cleanups now.
Yeah, that makes sense because it's alien technology. They're not just gonna give that to the public.
Yes. My thing is, go do something else then. Your construction company. There's something else you can probably do.
Dude, the whole town, the whole city was in ruins. That was going to be their payday there.
Yeah.
Also, they weren't construction; they were salvagers, weren't they?
Yeah, but it's like, dude, it's like
they're like recycling.
I'm sure that if you want to put up a fuss, that Tony Stark will pay you. Like I'm sure
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
if this was
absolutely.
real life, Tony Stark would just be like, here's $1 million, get off my back.
Yeah, that's fair.
You don't have to become a supervillain because of
Yeah.
this, right? Like, I just think it's a little over the top.
He wasn't even a supervillain. He was just a dude trying to feed his family. That's why I liked the Vulture, because he was a villain of his circumstance.
I guess
He went a little extra with it, but you know that's just how they.
I
do
would
it.
have liked it if it stuck
I like
with
Vulture. What's
these.
his name?
Michael.
Fassbender?
No.
Keaton.
We were literally
Michael
we were literally just talking about
Batman.
him in Birdman. Yeah.
Yeah. I liked him a lot. He was good.
Well, I love Michael Keaton in general, so I
he's
loved
really
him in
good.
this. Yes.
Straight Batman.
My biggest problem with Homecoming is that I would have loved it if it just stayed simple. If it was just like these nuanced, these simple ideas. It gets a little huge.
Birdman, Steel Metal, Spider-Man, stop him.
It gets a little big, like just from a visual.
Oh, you mean like the boat
Like the
splitting
action.
in half?
Yeah, it gets a little big.
Yeah, that was a little.
If it stayed simple, like a Spider-Man movie should, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, Spider-Man 1,
Is
Green
really
Goblin's
small.
throwing bombs.
Oh, but yeah, but like
building, setting stuff on fire.
still,
Spider-Man
Spider-Man,
2.
the whole Spider-Man trilogy to me is a lot smaller than Homecoming. It's a lot grittier, it's a lot darker, it's a lot more styled.
Oh, Spider-Man 3, I agree.
I agree all three of them, in my opinion. I can watch all three of them and have like a mellow time watching them. Even Venom.
Dude,
Venom's
I
a little big.
I can watch Spider-Man 3. That's on my brain right now. Oh my god, I want to know.
Oh my god. Might have to link to the movie. I have all three of them.
Okay.
But
Bring it up.
like compared to Homecoming, like
Homecoming,
Homecoming has some big
First
ass
of all,
scenes.
Tom
I think
Holland
it's too
He's
big.
adorable. I love him. Perfect Spider-Man.
Well, here's the
Number
thing,
2,
Tom Holland's
Ned. I love Ned. He was really funny. I felt like he was a really good
I just
side piece.
I hate Ned.
I thought he was really funny. I liked him. Because he's that fat friend. He's me. I'm Ned.
No,
But-
you're not.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not. I'm Spider-Man.
He's a-
Fuck y'all.
Dude, it's like you're not Ned. There's the Neds are the people. Lachlan's Ned.
Yeah, Lachlan is Ebrand's Ned, but Ebrand is nowhere even good enough to be Spider-Man. He's like Ned's Ned.
Ned's Ned and
Yeah.
Ned. Lachlan
Ned,
is Ned. but with Homecoming, it's just
I don't know. I liked Ned. He was just kind. Aunt May's awesome.
I just expected it to be more of a Spider-Man movie than an Avengers movie. You know what I
It
mean?
felt like a Spider-Man movie.
felt like an
featuring
MCU.
Tony Stark.
Felt more like an Avengers movie in terms of like the high scaled action.
Why are you against high scale action?
I'm not against high scale action for anyone except for Spider-Man because it doesn't fit with the character for me. You get what I mean?
Yeah, but it's about him wanting to be more than just a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He says that a lot.
He's
He's
like a
I wanna do more.
14-year-old. He's like,
And he wants to do more. He does that once, and then Tony's immediately like, you don't do that.
It's so unbelievable though because it's in a universe where Captain America exists and Black Panther exists, like these 30-something-year-old dudes that can come in and already deal with the high scale action. It's like, do you need the one guy that's supposed to connect with people on a more realistic level because they see themselves in it, dealing with stuff that's so unrealistic? Because that's one thing that everyone loves about Spider-Man is that everyone sees themselves in him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
that's why I love him. I grew up
exactly.
with Spider-Man.
As
He's
like-
been my favorite hero since I
Right?
was like 5.
Especially as teenagers, like we're in high school, we have the same kind of like sarcastic comedy
Well, actually, Spider-Man
sense
in
of
the
humor.
comics is also 14.
Well, yeah, but like this one's like he's like 17, 18. But
16 actually.
he looks 17, 18,
He does.
so I count him as 17,
I'd make out with
18.
him. I'd date Tom Holland any day. Okay,
But-
I love him.
But you know what I mean? Like we see ourselves in him. We're watching it even now.
That's why I love it when he tackles the big stuff, because I'm like, yeah, man, you do that. You go for that. You take that big slice.
I like it more toned down, more real, and more true to what Spider-Man's supposed to be than this high scale action.
Oh, no.
And that's my biggest problem with it. And then I thought that Far From Home. We're gonna get into that after.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Far From Home was toned down.
No.
Well, actually, yeah, it actually is, because it's a dude trying to make an Avengers level threat.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
But
But no, I love it. I don't think the high scale action's an issue at all, because again, with everything surrounding Spider-Man, especially the PS4 game that I love. Oh, I adore that game.
that's a good game. I need
So
to get it.
I platinumed it. I can lend you my copy.
Please do. I really want to play it so bad.
Yeah, I'll bring it to school on Monday, man.
Thanks, dude.
Bro. But I love that, and that has high scale action, and I don't find it's out of place at all.
I guess I get what you're saying. It's just for me, it's what I expected because when you hear Spider-Man's going to be in the MCU, and you see where it's fit into, right? Like it's fit right there between Guardians and Thor, and it's like. It's like finally you're thinking we have this character that's gonna be more down, like toned down.
Yeah,
It's
he
gonna
is
bring you
totally in
back.
character. He is.
In character, but I mean like just in the movie in general, something that's gonna be a little bit more relatable to people. Just the entire film, you know what I mean? You get what I'm saying?
He's relatable.
I don't find it.
The only thing that's
at all.
unrelatable is that a boat got like cut in half.
It's not really relatable at all, in my opinion, because it takes away from the. It's not even a character movie as much as should.
He's just a boy with a dream. Let him be.
The Spider-Man trilogy is more about Spider-Man than it's more about anything. In the
What
original.
about Peter Parker?
Yeah, more about Peter Parker. This one isn't. I don't think Homecoming is at all.
It is.
I would think it's more about Spider-Man.
Well, almost
than it is
half the
about
movie
Peter Parker.
deals with him in school and like trying to ask out fucking what's her nuts. Forget her name because it's not MJ.
Yeah, well, Zendaya isn't.
Zendaya is a lame MJ.
But
she's the worst.
My
MJ.
rating's like 4 out of 10. I don't love it.
I give it 8 out of 10. I love it. Next movie.
Thor Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok. That movie rocks.
I love Thor.
That's
Ragnarok.
a good movie.
I'm so happy. Thor Ragnarok was the perfect thing that we needed to.
I can't believe this
give
movie
us
came
something
out
good in that
3
trilogy.
years ago.
I know. I remember watching it for the first time. Like,
I
oh,
remember
it's so
when
good.
we came into film class and Johnny's there. Was
Oh
that
my
his name,
god. Jonathan?
Jonathan, yeah. And he's like, that movie Ragnarok. I love it. Oh my god. Fucking John, what a good one.
What a good. But no, Thor Ragnarok's great.
Great movie.
It's
I love
everything you love about Thor.
it. I like the Stan Lee cameo. That's a funny one.
Yep.
I like Thor getting a haircut.
Yep.
I like Jeff Goldblum.
Yep.
That was funny. I like the Valkyrie lady.
Yeah, she's great.
I love Hulk. That's the best Hulk we've seen.
Definitely
ever.
the best Hulk we've seen. It's
That's
like so
the whole
true to
MCU,
Hulk.
That's the best Hulk ever.
Oh yeah. This is the best we've seen Thor at. This is true Thor. This feels like Thor in his element. This is you finally get to see Thor as the most powerful Avenger as he should be. He's an actual god.
Yeah.
And you feel like he's an actual god in this movie. And then you have Hulk, who should be the second strongest, if not like tied with Thor,
Yeah.
being as strong as Thor as he should be.
Well, I mean,
So-
Thor can literally punch a planet in half.
Right,
I've said
right.
it before.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
But this really put them on such a good pacing for what they're going to do with Thor in the future until they ruin it with whatever. We're not getting that, but
We're not even thinking about that.
we'll talk about that in a bit here. But Thor Ragnarok is so good to me because it's hilarious. It's action packed. There's so many great one-liners. It's really well written. It's really well paced.
It's just all around a great time. Movie
Yeah.
8.5 out of 10.
Yeah,
Maybe
8.5.
even, yeah.
I'm with 8.5.
Me too.
Next up, this is one we're going to disagree on again.
Fuck man. Ant-Man and the Wasp?
No, because we actually agree on Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Do we? Okay, that's good.
Black Panther.
Black Panther?
I love it. I think it's amazing.
wasn't huge on it. I mean, I watched it again. I saw what's good about it. I just don't personally adore it.
I really like it. I don't think about the cultural impact or anything like that.
Yeah,
I
neither do
totally separated when it comes to the actual movie. My thing about Black Panther is that it's so different from the rest of the MCU.
I think it's just kind of dumb with a lot of things, though.
Well, I love it. It gives me the toned down movie that I want. Like the first half of this movie is so toned down. Well, the first half of this movie is like this family drama. It's like
Okay, I like the family drama part of it, but you can't say an entire civilization
first half.
hidden away by the entire world using discrete technology that they refuse to share with everyone's toned down.
Okay, what I'm talking about is like the storyline is a little bit more toned down than everything else. Like it's like this family betrayal drama film about like
It's
this
Downton
royal
Abbey.
family. Yeah,
It's
and
Downton
I love
Abbey.
it. I love it. And I think it works so well. It's so different from the rest of the MCU, and it got me really into it. Like I love that scene where we have the flashback to the uncle. When he's talking to his son, and that's like when Killmonger's like being told about Wakanda, and it's
Killmonger.
fucking incredible. It's a great scene. And I think the acting's amazing. I think the cast is great.
Yeah, I agree with both of those statements.
Yeah, and I love the guy they have to play Black Panther. And at this point, Killmonger is my favorite villain in the MCU. It gets topped later on by you know who, but I love Killmonger in this. I think he's amazing.
Like he's good, but not that good.
Well, who's better than him up to this point?
Up to that point,
Yeah.
Jeff Goldblum, baby.
But up to this point,
Up to
I
that
think
point, Loki.
I like Loki a lot, but not as much as I like Killmonger. Because I think Loki's
So bad.
great because
As a character, Loki's
he has more comedy to him. He has.
He has more character to him.
I would disagree. I think
He's such a trickster. I love it.
I think Killmonger fits better for the story that he's in. I think that he fits perfectly. And I think that and what I love even more about him is that you don't expect him to be the main villain from all the build-up that they have. Like it's
His name was Killmonger.
yeah, but
Are you kidding me?
I thought he was gonna be a goon. like just the goon for Andy Serkis, because Andy Serkis had all the lines. Andy Serkis was the
yeah.
head guy, and then all of a sudden it turns around, Andy Serkis is dead, and all of a sudden Killmonger's the main villain, right?
No, I always just knew it was gonna be Killmonger from the start.
Well, I
called
knew-
a hunch, but I just
Well, like I knew because everyone knew because like they kind of announced that dumb shit and ruin it.
I didn't
but-
pay attention to any
Really?
of that. I go into the movie blind because I didn't.
But
care
when I
about
went to
Black
watch
Panther.
the movie and I kind of got put out of all that, I forgot he was gonna be the main villain. I didn't think he was. I really thought it was gonna be an Andy Serkis movie, and then when he kills off Andy Serkis, I think it was a really good turnaround point. It's actually a huge climax point that I think is really good as well. I just think it's really well written. I love all the moments. I love all the scenes in America, like all the scenes that are in like the I don't even know. Does it take place in Brooklyn? I don't even know where it takes place.
Everything takes place in Brooklyn.
Yeah, like I love the scenes where the kids are playing basketball at the end, and the fucking spaceship comes up, and then
Yeah, that's for sure. What's the next movie? I feel like it's Infinity War.
it is. But Black Panther, I give a 9. 9 point. I'm gonna go with a 9 for now. I give it a 9 out of 10.
I give it a 5,
That's really too low, bro.
maybe 6. Depends. I gotta rewatch it.
I love it personally. I think
Next.
it's great.
Infinity War.
I love Infinity War. I think it's
It's
really
a bomb
good.
movie.
I think it's great.
I love seeing everyone come together. The kid in me loved it.
Infinity War has a lot of problems.
Oh god, yeah, it does.
I can go into them. I went into them the first day. The next day I watched it. I told everyone, I was like, a lot of it doesn't make any sense.
Fact.
Like, it's like it makes the Civil War pointless because Iron Man and Captain America never talk anyway, so there's never actually that conflict in this movie.
Yeah, no.
So all that build-up is pointless because it doesn't exist in Infinity War
Literally
because
the
they
only-
never speak,
The only thing that came out of it was them not speaking.
right?
It was just, let's not bring Captain America in yet.
Yeah, and then it like doesn't explain where Captain America's been. He's just like, he's not been here for years.
You know, he's just been out in Brooklyn drinking Starbucks with a hat on. You
It's
don't
just,
hear that he has sunglasses now.
right? And it's like,
He's a whole new
Vision
boy.
and Wanda live together. It's like in like fucking Europe. It's like,
Yeah,
what?
asshole.
Like all of it's just like, what are you even talking about? Why doesn't this make any sense?
I like
Where's
it.
Hawkeye? Ooh, I don't know.
I
Where
like-
the fuck is Ant-Man?
I like on house arrest.
Yeah, but it was stupid. That's so stupid.
He's on house arrest. What do you mean?
It's just like the dumbest thing ever. It's like the poorest excuse. Wow, the world is coming to an end. Ant-Man is on house arrest.
I'm on house arrest. Sorry guys, I can't come out. My mom says
There
I'm
wasn't
grounded.
him and Hawkeye on house arrest. Wow,
Yeah, Hawkeye
Earth
was
is
too.
coming to an end. Half of the universe's population is going to die. Hawkeye and Ant-Man, house arrest, cannot go.
Sorry,
Cannot battle it
I'm
out.
grounded. Mom says I can't go.
It's like, this doesn't make fucking sense.
I don't know, but it's hilarious.
Like, it makes no sense.
I like Natasha's new haircut. She's pretty.
Yeah. But I love Infinity War because
It's just a fun movie.
it balances the characters really
And
well,
I
which I
love
didn't expect.
Thanos.
I thought Civil War did a really bad job at balancing characters.
Yeah.
Infinity War does a really good job.
It does.
Thanos, incredible.
Thanos.
This is when he
amazing.
becomes my
I love
favorite
him.
villain.
He's the best.
Oh yeah.
Well, he is in this movie. And then they ruin him in Endgame. But we're not going to talk about that yet.
I hate him in Endgame.
God,
We're not gonna talk about that yet. He's phenomenal in Infinity War, and
Facts.
Thanos really carries that movie. It's what makes it so good for
Josh
me.
Brolin just did a really good job despite
He's
being
so
covered up
good.
by so much CG.
Right?
He just
So
did a
good.
really good.
There's a
I'm
lot of
proud
great
of him.
moments, a lot of dialogue, a lot of emotional moments. The ending's incredible.
Oh, it is.
Like, there's so much you can talk about. I
I
don't
love-
like the way they kill Spider-Man off because
Oh my
it's
God, I was so
so
emotional.
illogical compared to the rest, though.
Well, that's
Ev-
because it was improvised.
Well, yeah, but like everything else is like dust, 3 seconds, and then his is like,
Well, I mean, it all cascades, you noticed. They've all cascaded. It's just Tom Holland was the only one who
I
felt
think
it.
it's poorly explained.
That's fair, but I didn't really care when I was crying my eyes out.
I didn't cry from that.
I
cried from
did.
that.
I was so sad.
I was already crying anyway from everything else, but I love what they did with Thor in this movie.
Oh, dude,
Phenomenal. The
Thor
way
was
he
awesome.
enters the final battle's incredible.
So sad. I love
It's
his
so
whole
intense.
adventure to get his new axe.
Right? That's
I
amazing.
feel like that alone could have like been a movie.
That it could have been.
Thor
it would have
and
been a
Rocket
great
Raccoon.
movie.
I would have loved that.
That would have been great. Right when he should have aimed for the head. Great scene. Great
It
line.
was awesome.
The
I mean, it makes
snap,
sense that he went for the body.
intense. Yeah, it
Because,
makes
you
sense.
go for center mass, but
Yeah.
Should have gone for the head,
Um,
stinky. One thing that made me mad, how come Chris Pratt, why you gotta be such a stinky? Why you gotta shout? Why you gotta punch him in the face? Silly goose.
Me, I'm the only person I think that likes that scene. Because I think it
It
fits
makes
his
sense,
character perfectly.
absolutely. Oh, it does 150%.
I think
He's a human. He's based off emotion. They bring
Exactly.
that up a lot through all the movies. Humans are
right. He's the one with the strongest connection to Gamora. He's already suffered so much loss in his life.
Yeah,
like
it makes sense.
It makes so much sense, and I think that the scene would have been horrible if it was anyone else.
Yeah. Oh no, if it was anyone else, it would have been even worse.
But with him,
I just like to bring it up because I'm like, come on, Stinky.
Remember how much I used to argue at that with everybody? Because like he didn't know he was gonna wake him up. He was fucking pissed.
Thanos was like snoozing too.
Right.
I just want to punch. I want to deck him in the face.
Exactly, and it was great. I love it, and I also think it was the only way they could have made him waking up and not getting killed there make sense.
I'm sure on time.
7:30. You have an hour, don't you?
Half an hour.
I thought you were leaving at 8:45.
It's 8:30.
Oh my god, my fucking time on the computer's wrong.
Yikes. Yeah, 15 minutes.
Alright, let's go.
Speed round. Next
right.
movie.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, we both like it. Like, it's an okay movie. I don't think it's amazing. I give it like a 6, maybe 7.
I like the Wasp. I give it a 7.
Yeah, I like it. I thought that there was a great connection between Ant-Man and his daughter. I think it was more of a family movie. I think they did really well compared to Ant-Man.
I like the cinematography in it. I wasn't crazy about the ghost girl. I didn't really care. I forgot about her, actually, until I brought that up.
Really?
I don't care about her. I like the bad boy, though.
Mm-hmm.
He was.
I like it. It's a good movie.
I just all around had a good time watching.
Yeah, it's enjoyable. Next Captain Marvel, you're the only one that can talk about is I haven't seen it.
Oh, you haven't seen? I can't believe you haven't seen Captain Marvel. I really enjoyed it, for the most part. At the beginning, I really liked it. Actually, I don't know if it was right from the beginning. Actually, yeah, I think I started liking it around more in the midpoint. So she's just like, Brie Larson did a good job in this movie as her, for sure.
Yeah, that's my biggest worry is I didn't like her in Endgame, so I'm just holding out. It was
good. It had a lot of 80s nostalgia, which is funny. Like, she lands in the goddamn blockbuster.
Oh, really?
When she comes to Earth, so that's really funny. I liked seeing young Nick Fury. That was cool. Okay. It had a lot of really good funny moments, but it wasn't all comedy. There's a cool twist with the aliens and stuff, but it's not a twist at all if you've seen Guardians of the Galaxy.
Really?
Yeah, well, because, like, so the good guys, right, they're booling on their spaceship, and they pull up an intercom, and it's the bad dude from Guardians.
Oh.
Yeah, and they're talking to him like, are we going to kill them? And he's like, kill them! And then from there, you're like, oh, they were the bad guys then, okay. Because you obviously know.
Yeah. That's cool. I'm definitely going to check it out this weekend, probably.
I recommend it. It's really fun to watch.
Alright. Now we have a movie that we probably have a lot to say about.
Oh my god.
Endgame. Well, I think we're both on the same level here. We don't like it that much.
No. Did not like it that much whatsoever.
My biggest problem with the movie is that...
Ruined Thanos.
It ruins Thanos.
Yep.
And then... The tone is horrible for this film. It's a comedy that takes place in what, like, it's not even a dark comedy. It's a family-friendly comedy, the darkest time ever.
And they give it the most lighthearted comedic writing.
Right? They tried so hard to make it a film for 4-year-olds.
Which...
It's like, that's not your demographic for this movie. This is for the people that were watching since the first.
You didn't do it with Endgame. I mean,
Infinity War. Why would you do it with Endgame?
You didn't do it with Infinity War. Why would you do it with Endgame?
Exactly.
If you did it with both of them, I could let it slide, but barely, because it really shouldn't be a comedy in any way.
Exactly. Where it's like, you just killed off all the characters. You think these kids are gonna care about how funny Endgame is? It's like, no, everyone's so emotionally invested in this movie. It's your first chance to do something so serious and dark, like it should be, and then actually have your Oscar appreciation.
I see this as an absolute win.
Right?
But that is a funny line. What I hate the most is how I actually I did laugh at a lot of the jokes.
Well, some of it was definitely funny.
Yeah, it was.
A lot of it was out of place for me.
I liked Armadeus Cho Hulk.
Yeah.
Do you read the comics? Do you know who Armadeus Cho is?
No.
He's like this Asian Hulk.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he's Smart Hulk. He was the original one. But yeah, I like that.
I don't know that many different Hulks. Like that Hulk, She-Hulk, Red Hulk, a few I know.
Dude, Red Hulk's my favorite.
I love Red Hulk. But yeah.
But yeah, no. I just didn't like it much comedy. I don't like how they ruined Thanos. Fucking kill them. I don't care. He was never a dude about killing.
It's not even that.
Ever.
The moment he said the line, like, what is it? I'm going to enjoy destroying your Earth.
Oh, that was the line.
I was out. I was out.
I was like, what? You ruined him.
Thanos. Thanos specifically said he does this because it's his.
Yeah, he doesn't like
doing it. He hates it. He tried so hard to not do it for years.
He even said, "I've tried to run away from my fate before."
Yeah, he's like, but I could never do it. It's my fate. He has to do it. He's only doing this for perfect balance. Like he cries when he has to kill Gamora. Like he he hates killing off people on these planets and like doing these things, but he feels like he has to because it's his destiny, and it is really. If this movie does have destinies, and it is his destiny. This movie literally ruins that. Like, I'm gonna enjoy destroying your planet. It's like, why?
No.
When has Thanos ever
and it
said
sucks
that?
Because he's really good at the beginning. Because he's like,
Oh
I
my
destroyed
God,
the
yeah.
stones. I'm not letting anyone else do anything like that. I'm
Exactly.
destroying them so no one else can do this. And he
And
just
then he
tries
lets
to live
himself get
peacefully
killed.
alone. And then Captain Marvel comes in and she's boring and she's like, because you didn't have me. She was
Captain
useless.
Marvel's horrible in this movie.
Oh my god, she was god awful. I hated the women.
I
power
love Brie
scene.
Larson. Oh my god, I don't have that much of a
I
problem with
hated that scene. It was
it was way too on the nose.
It was.
It was just like,
If it was
you
just
already
like,
know we're gonna do this, but let's just show it
like
to you.
if it was just like a coincidental woman passing a woman, that'd be fine.
That'd
If
be
it was
cool.
every single woman in the movie like she
At the
has
same-
backup.
But with that, the reason I don't have a problem with it is because that entire last scene is just a bunch of different things that different fans will enjoy anyway. So it's like, that wasn't meant for us. It was meant for the women that were like feeling power from it. Like, we have that scene where Captain America holds the hammer. Like, that's a scene for us. You know, like we have those moments
That
that are
scene
little.
was hinted at since the first Avengers.
Yeah, but there's a lot of scenes that are a little on the nose out of nowhere that are specifically meant for fan service.
Like, other than that,
What do you mean? The whole movie's pretty much fan service.
every Marvel movie's fan service.
Yeah, this movie's like fan service, fan service, fan service. Where like, I mean, like giving Captain America handing off the shield to.
Well, that's just a passage of rights to
Right, but it's more fan service than it is anything.
I don't know.
Like, they didn't even need that scene.
No one wanted. No, actually, I disagree. No fan was like, "Give it to Falcon." I was
I
like,
know a lot
"Give
of
it
people
to
were
Bucky."
happy. I was happy they didn't give it to Bucky.
Man,
Only because
it made sense that he didn't get it, but I still wish he did. Because I love Bucky too much.
But you don't think that entire fight scene has different moments for different fans?
It's kind of just like the same thing. It's just like
Yeah.
a cool fight scene, and then they're like, "Women power.
Like, I don't
We
think
got to appeal to
like,
everyone."
I don't really care that much. I don't think it affected the
I
movie
just
in
hate,
any way.
I
It was
just
just
hate
like,
forced.
yeah, it was
pandering.
really forced. Not
Pandering in general. Just I hate.
What else?
But you know what? That's Endgame, baby. And
That's
that's
Endgame.
showbiz, baby. Can
There's
we-
a lot of things.
Can that be
wrong
the title of
with
the
Endgame.
podcast?
Yeah,
That's
showbiz,
baby.
Oh, that's my big problem with Endgame is that
It's just pandering.
it was made for the fans,
But
it
they-
didn't make sense. It needed to make sense.
It was bad fan service.
It was really bad fan
It was like a
service.
bad fan fiction.
Yeah,
That's kind of the feel I got from it.
and people allow themselves to fall in love with it because it's what they wanted, but anyone that would really like take their bias and look at Avengers Endgame, they say it's a bad movie. It's just not a good movie. But then, like, I give it a 7.5 because I would give it like a 3 if I had no emotional connection to it. But everyone has emotional connection to it. No matter what, it's probably the biggest cinematic experience we've ever had for anyone. For anyone that's really into this movie,
Yeah.
all that build up and all that emotion
Which is
and all
why
that.
it's even more of a down.
Well, yeah.
Letdown.
Yeah, like for me, it's the biggest disappointment I've probably ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
But there's always gonna be that part that just loves it. Like, I always love that Captain America scene where he finally has I almost cried at that scene.
And I love that goddamn Hawkeye scene where he's killing all the dudes in Japan.
Oh yeah, and then we have the opening Endgame, phenomenal.
Oh, so good.
That first scene in Endgame was insane, just from a writing perspective. Like, it was just beautiful and perfect, and it goes downhill from that.
Yeah, and then it's like, Fat Thor plays Fortnite.
That's the problem with this movie. The first scene is actually like the perfect. It has the perfect tone fit for this movie. It's dark. It's, oh my god, my whole family's dead, and then it's just like,
Yeah.
Fat Thor, I'll kill you.
You have cheese whiz in your veins.
Give me the mic. Give me the mic.
Thor?
I'm gonna find you and I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, it's like, so I'm playing Fortnite again. Fucking The Rock. I love The Rock, dude, in Ragnarok.
I
He's
love
so
it in
good.
Ragnarok, but this
And
was
then
just...
he's playing Fortnite, and it's like, why?
Oh my
That's
god.
what I mean, pandering.
Right?
Because they
Thor
don't...
only comes out of his dungeon for beer.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
See, that's what I hate, because it shows like it's pandering to 8-year-olds.
Right?
Who play Fortnite and think that's funny.
It's so different from Infinity War. It's
Oh my God,
so
it's just-
different. The first, 10,
not good.
20 minutes of an Endgame is so good. The scene where they go and kill Thanos, Hawkeye scene, it's just incredible. Even the scene where,
I'm thinking even the scene with Kill Thanos, that's like...
I love it because it makes sense.
It's really good, I just don't like Captain Marvel in it. 'Cause
Well,
she's
yeah,
like,
that's...
you didn't have me.
But
And then she
but
made no impact on it whatsoever.
I know. But at least the
Thanos was
tone of
already
it...
just an old man.
Right? But at least the tone up to that point was perfect.
It was, absolutely.
Like, even with Captain Marvel, like, the tone is perfect. It's still dark. They're all sad. They're all like, we're only doing this because of how they're not even doing it to save anyone at this point.
No,
they're
they're just
doing
doing
it for
it to
vengeance.
avenge.
They're actually at a point where they're
It's
wanting to
almost
kill
like they're
somebody.
the Avengers. Wow. They want vengeance.
They want vengeance, but like
Oh.
they're actually at a point where they want to kill somebody, and
Yeah.
none of them have ever wanted to kill. It's so dark and it's so great. Even like the opening scene, 5 years later, right in the opening, when Captain America is hosting that like kind of like AA meeting, but like with everyone that's lost their family meetings.
That was really.
I cried because it was amazing. The acting was phenomenal. That one guy I was talking about. Yeah, I was on this date and it was going well, and then I just started crying, and then he started crying, and it was fucking amazing, and I love it. And it's so fucking good, and they ruined it after that. The movie just sucks after that, because then it's like, Ant-Man's back, and it's funny now.
Yeah, it's not even the second Ant-Man comes back. It's just because he goes to the
when he gets to the Avengers. It's when he gets to the Avengers, because then Hulk comes in, and everything with Hulk and Ant-Man from that moment on is all calm.
Yeah.
And that's what I hated.
Oh, goddamn.
But like he was, oh my god, when he goes up to his old house, he knocks and nobody answers, or no, somebody answers, right? And they say, his daughter answers, right? His daughter's alive still, right? And they're crying. Then he goes to the graves, and
sees his name.
He sees his name, and he sees like the other people's names that he like, the Wasp and everything, and he's like, this super emotional scene. He's like, shit, what do I do? And when he's going down the like you said earlier, like the street that's empty, like the abandoned street, phenomenal.
Yeah. And then of course, there's the part where he's like, why don't we do a time travel? And Tony Stark's like, nah. And then Tony Stark's in his cab. He's like, well, what if we do a time travel?
He just fills up a blueprint. He's like,
legit. He just takes a particle or whatever on his thing. He's like, zoom in. Time travel.
He's like, wow, maybe we can actually do that.
I hated that so much. I was like, how are you just going to make
Also, I just love how the Hulk has a completely different kind of time travel than Iron Man, and none of it actually combines together or make any sense, or they're completely different.
Yeah, because Hulk was like, let's go in the van. We'll shrink you. You'll go back in time. And then they come back all messed up.
Baby.
Maybe we shouldn't have done this.
Which
I feel like everything about the movie is just like, we shouldn't have done this.
Honestly, after the first 15 minutes of that movie, it goes downhill. Really
you can stop watching after that.
Yeah,
like
once it's so good.
Once Paul Rudd gets to Avengers headquarters, turn the movie off.
And it's so I'm sitting there in my my seat or endgame, and I'm thinking of the first few minutes. I'm like, this might be like the greatest thing ever.
No, right? I was so hyped right from the beginning.
Yeah, like just how good it was. I've already cried once in the first 15 minutes, and I already feel like I'm on the verge of tears again. I'm sitting there and I'm like, this might be fucking incredible, and it just sucks.
Yeah. But you know what? That showbiz, baby.
That showbiz, baby.
And that's every Avengers movie. Oh, we gotta give the final one a rating. 2 out of 10.
You're doing Endgame 2?
2 or 3.
I'm only getting it. Here's the thing. If I would take away my emotional connection to it, it's like a 4. With emotional connection, I give it a 7, just because there's so many things that I remember about that I just
With
love.
an emotional connection, I give it a 3 because they let me down too much.
Really?
Actually, no, I give it a 5.
Yeah.
Overall, I give that movie a 5.
Yeah. Overall, I'd probably give it a 6. There's so many moments that I remember.
The disappointments, I want to give it a 2, but then I think about the scenes where, Captain America gets the hammer.
That's what I keep going back to.
I think about the beginning, or how good it is, and how invested I was. I think about Hawkeye, and then I'm like,
the moment Captain America held this hammer, I almost stood up in my seat because I was so fucking into it, and I loved it, and it's perfect, and it's great for fans. But that's another problem with movies, that it's just all fan service, and a lot of it doesn't even work.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's so just like, ooh, the kids have to enjoy this movie, so we make money, so make funny joke.
Funny Thor Fortnite.
Funny Thor Fortnite. And then everything with Thor was so bad, and even until he finally comes to terms. Yeah. I didn't think I'd still be ready.
I forgot Thor had a mom.
Yeah.
I forgot he did. I didn't care.
I didn't give a shit. The whole Asgard scene almost felt pointless to me because it was just I was so out of it at that point.
Do the same.
But one last movie.
What movie?
Far From Home.
Far From Home. I love that movie.